Stop for a second, because what I'm about to say is not meant for everyone. There is a reason this message found you at this exact moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. And deep down, you can feel it, can't you? That quiet pull, that unexplainable sense that something about you has always been different, not better than others, just set apart in a way you could never fully explain. What if I told you that this feeling isn't random, that there is a power, real, ancient, and carefully reserved, that was never meant for the crowd, but for a specific group chosen for the final hour? Before we go deeper, I want you to do something simple but powerful. Go ahead and comment 777 if you feel like this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Not for me, but as a sign that you're ready to receive what's been hidden, because what I'm about to reveal next might finally explain why your life has never followed a normal path. Chosen ones, this power was reserved for God's end-time messengers. I want to speak to you plainly, because I do not believe this reached you by accident. There has always been something inside you that ordinary language could never fully explain. I have seen it in certain people before, and if I am honest, I have felt it in moments of my own life too. It is deeper than personality, deeper than habit, deeper than the story people tell about who you are. It is something God placed in you before you had words, before you learned how to survive this world. He marked your soul in secret, and that mark has never left. That is why your life has never felt ordinary, even when everything around you looked ordinary on the surface. This is not empty inspiration. This is not a dramatic phrase meant to make you feel special. This is a calling. You belong to God, and lately that pull has been getting stronger, has it not? Something holy has been rising in you. It is not stress, it is not imagination, it is power moving toward purpose. And I am not speaking to the curious crowd. I am speaking to the one who has been through fire and still kept faith, to the one who has been wounded, misunderstood, betrayed, and still refused to let bitterness define them, to the one who carried pain quietly and kept whispering prayers in the dark. That is who I mean. That is who you are. You may look hidden to people, but heaven does not see you as hidden. There is a quiet authority on your life, and darkness noticed it long before many around you did. Some of you have spent years wondering why your life felt unusually intense, why the battle seemed so personal, why the pressure felt so strange. I have learned that when hell resists someone this hard, it is often because heaven entrusted them with something weighty. You are not carrying that weight alone. There is strength around you that did not come from you. There is help near you that human logic cannot fully explain. When God moves at critical moments in history, He does not always choose the loudest person. He chooses the prepared one. Think of Noah, misunderstood by his generation, yet carrying a message that outlived them all. Think of Moses, a shepherd on the outside, but a deliverer in the hands of God. Think of Elijah, one man whose obedience shook a nation awake. And now, in these last days, I believe God is doing something similar again on a wider scale. He is raising messengers everywhere, not only from pulpits and platforms, but from homes, hospitals, offices, neighborhoods, and quiet places the world overlooks. That is why you may look ordinary and still carry something extraordinary. You're part of a scattered company God has been preparing for a time like this. The conflict between light and darkness has sharpened. You can feel it in daily life. People are more anxious, numb, divided, and restless. Evil is no longer trying to hide itself the way it once did. And because the battle has intensified, God is not sending His messengers out with good intentions alone. He is giving them discernment, protection, stamina, precision, and authority born from obedience. That is why what rests on your life cannot be manufactured. It cannot be copied by ambition or faked by performance. The enemy may imitate many things, but he cannot recreate what comes from the throne of God. What rests on you did not come from striving, it came from heaven. Maybe that explains why your life has been marked by moments you could never dismiss. When you look back, how many times could your story have ended? And yet, it did not. A near accident, a betrayal, a diagnosis, a season so heavy you still do not know how you survived it. And yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still carrying faith. That was not random survival. That was God preserving what he marked. The same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel and stood with the 3 Hebrew men in the fire has not changed. When Scripture says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God," it is not poetic decoration. It is heaven's language over a life chosen for assignment. I have come to believe that some people are alive today, not simply because they were strong, but because God had already decided they would not be taken out before their time. That may be your testimony too. You may also have noticed that people react to you before they understand you. Some are drawn to you immediately. They feel safe. They open up. They find peace in your presence. Others react in the opposite way. They become uneasy, defensive, distant. Sometimes that is not personality. Sometimes it is spiritual recognition. Light changes a room simply by entering it. Darkness does not rest where heaven has placed a mark. And then there are those moments too precise to dismiss. A stranger says exactly what your heart needed. A conversation happens at the exact hour you were about to give up. A word reaches you with such accuracy that it feels as though heaven touched your shoulder in public without announcing itself. Or maybe you remember a night of prayer when peace filled the room so deeply that your tears came before your thoughts did. Hebrews says some have welcomed angels without knowing it. That verse has always moved me because it reminds me how quietly heaven often works. Not every divine encounter comes with thunder. Sometimes it arrives in an ordinary moment that only becomes extraordinary when you look back. So stop dismissing what your soul has been sensing. Some of what you have lived through truly was spiritual. Some of what preserved you truly was divine. You are not just surviving, you are being readied. You are not just different, you are marked. And what has been stirring in you is no longer asking for your permission, it is asking for your obedience. I say that gently because I know what it feels like to carry weight other people cannot name. I have seen people crumble under pressures you somehow kept walking through. Betrayal broke them, long storms emptied them, pain swallowed them, but you kept rising. Not because you were untouched. You did bleed, you did grieve, you did have nights when you wondered whether light would ever reach you again. Still, you got back up. That kind of endurance is not ordinary strength. It is evidence that heaven has been reinforcing you. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you were not spared the furnace, but you were not abandoned inside it. You felt the heat, the fear, the exhaustion, but you were not alone. The fact that you survived seasons that should have ended you is its own testimony. Heaven was nearer than you knew. And maybe you have noticed something else. When you speak from a place of real faith, the atmosphere changes. Have you ever spoken one line of scripture and felt the room shift? Have you ever encouraged someone and watched hope return to their eyes? That is not sentiment. That is authority. God has put something on your voice. When His word leaves a believing mouth, it does not fall empty. It moves. It rearranges. It reaches places your hands never could. That is why the enemy has tried so hard to silence you. He knows your words carry weight. Maybe that is why you have often felt like an outsider. Even as a child, you may have sensed you could not fully blend in or be satisfied by what consumed everyone else. Nothing was wrong with you. That difference was not a flaw. It was a sign. Jesus said, His followers are not of this world, just as He is not of this world. What felt like detachment was often divine direction. Your spirit was tuned to another frequency. Even your delays and disappointments have not been wasted. I know that is hard to see in the middle of them because closed doors feel personal and slow seasons feel like abandonment. But looking back, I have often found that what felt like punishment was actually preparation. God was building capacity in you. He was forming someone who could carry weight without collapsing under it. This is why the power on your life is not for display. It is holy, weighty, and serious. God entrusts it because the world is dark, people are wounded, and truth is being watered down everywhere. He needs voices that will stay honest, humble, loving, and unafraid. So settle this in your spirit now. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. Heaven has not overlooked you. The mantle is not coming later as though God is undecided. It is already resting on you. The question is whether you will stop shrinking from it. Begin now. Speak with more authority. Walk with greater awareness. Pray like heaven is listening, because it is. Show up where God sends you without apologizing for the light you carry. When you move in faith, chains break that you cannot even see. When you speak with conviction, things shift beyond the natural. Do not keep doubting what heaven has already confirmed. Lift your face, straighten your shoulders, breathe again, and let this settle deep in you. I am chosen. I carry the strength heaven assigned to me, and I will fulfill my divine assignment.